Always. All right, we're live. Okay, listen. I'm going to put this out here right at the beginning. Because I want to get my irritation off the table with it. I am looking for someone who can give us a better program to do panel streams with than StreamYards. Just please, any suggestions, we'll take them. The best suggestion that we can work out, I will make you one of those sportscaster narration videos of your choice. Send me the clip, whatever you want. I'll dedicate it to you at the end. But I'm not happy with StreamYard anymore, guys. So I felt that as the intro was playing, I was like, I got to get that off my chest. So I will make the video to anyone who can offer a solution. It would make me start off these shows in a much better mood. Moving on, though, we are here tonight. Now, Schrodinger's cat has joined us, and I'm super stoked about this. Thank you so much for coming on, and I'm like really excited to have you because I love your videos. I love your work.
No, I'm super happy to be here. I've had a really great day that I'll get into. I had a couple great live streams earlier today, and I'm just super fanboying to actually be here. Yeah, last week I heard you guys talking about this stream and talking about that you were looking into blind justice, and I said they need to reach out to Don Shipley. And then later on, I heard Kate say, yeah, I talked to Don Shipley. And so I immediately jumped on the email and said, please, 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 1,000 times, please let me be on, to dig deeper into this. So yeah, I'm just fanboying out to even be here. Thanks.
Well, so I want to clarify with that though. So I had reached out to Don Shipley, right? And then I reached out to the Guardians of the Green Beret, I believe they were called as well. I had not received an answer from either party yet. I just reached out to them. So I don't have any information on that that's verified or even close. But at this point, like, I feel like the situation with blind justice, right, has blown up enough. A 2 more day chant going. Can we do that at the end? I don't know. Listen, Josh going to jail is so last week, honestly, but we'll talk about it at the end, maybe. Anyway, that just threw out my train of thought. All right. So blind justice right now, like this is blown up big enough. And what's the best way that I can put this? All the other stuff kind of goes to the wayside when you just look at objectively the paperwork that they have filed, the responses they have gotten from the court, compared to, Title II of the ADA. And it's ridiculous. It's objectively ridiculous what they're trying to sell. And I'm still trying to piece out, if I'm being completely honest, whether or not this is a case of like they're kind of sit delusional. Or if this is some sort of scheme. I couldn't label it one or the other right now, but this is just a really ridiculous situation that's going on, like start to finish, completely self-induced, right? Can we all agree on that or no?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a money-making scam. It's got to be.
I mean, I haven't really looked, what they have going on financially. I could see how it would have the potential to be quite the lucrative deception, but I don't know. I mean, the entire thing is just crazy.
And then you got this crazy lady, the South Carolina swamp fox, and her idiot son. Oh, they have not been helping the situation at all.
Yep.
So this is probably a good way to start this off, as we'll talk about blind justice. I know that for once I was trying to be a Boy Scout and I wrote an agenda, right? But we're already going to swap that around. So blind justice, I wanted to, and I got this idea from Teresa Richardson, so I want to give her a shout out for this, to go back to kind of the originating incident, that you kind of started this downhill of, legal action, so to speak, right? So that we get more context about what surrounds this particular case right now. So, Pat, I asked, you have the video of their original arrest, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I think, and Schrodinger, have you seen this?
I did see it, and I believe I've made so many videos at this point. I don't remember if I made a video about this, but they do the whole sovereign citizen thing, almost get their window smashed. and it's pretty glorious.
And Matt, have you seen this?
Is this the original arrest at the courthouse?
It's old. No, this isn't the original. This is the reason that they had to be at the courthouse in the first
It's the
place.
precursor to it.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it. So
Okay, it's just for context sake, anyway. And we won't spend too much time dissecting this, obviously, because it would take up. But this is from February of this year, so we'll play this and just.
You know, it's going to be good when the title says "kidnapped."
Right.
Yeah, right. Did you have this queued up to the timestamp?
I believe I did, yeah.
Because I don't know why there's a black screen.
I told you. I was just saying I want to have a nice factual, like, really focused panel. But Robin Thompson, thank you for stopping by. I do love this bitch. I love her. She literally she just comes on. She's one of the first people in the stream, right? Like every single time. Robin, thank you. And we got to talk about blind justice right now. I can't hear that at all.
I think there's a way out to my left, and it looks like it's kind of a driveway, but this is a church parking lot. I thought. Oh, I'm gonna get my TV out of my pocket. No, please. Okay.
So it's really a little bit beyond this, yeah.
So what's going on?
Oh, right here, yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's just really quiet.
What's going on?
I need you to identify yourself. Back to our private property.
Okay.
So
What's the reason? What's the reason why you're trying to identify us?
Because you could be wanted.
Okay. But do you have a lawful reason for the stop? Do you have a reasonable articulable suspicion?
You gonna give me your IDs or not?
What crime do you suspect us of committing?
Give me your IDs now.
Do you suspect that there's a crime being committed?
Do you want to keep this window? Yes or no? Because I'm about to bust it out if you don't start giving me some IDs.
Okay, we're recording this. Oh,
Stop.
hey,
I will stop.
hold on.
Why
Can
are
we
you
get a
being so
supervisor?
violent? I need a supervisor.
Let's get a supervisor, please.
I need your supervisor, please. I need your supervisor. I am very scared of you.
I am the supervisor.
Oh, do you have a supervisor that's over you?
No, not right now. There is not. No.
Oh my God.
Okay, can we get a sheriff out here, please?
I need a sheriff.
No, you don't need a sheriff. You're in the town.
Right. Right.
You're gonna give me
The sheriff has.
That's textbook opposite.
Right.
Yeah, this is a very sovereign citizen encounter right here.
Right.
What is the reason?
I'm about to bust your window out. Give me your
Okay,
IDs.
that's illegal.
No, it's not. Give me your IDs now.
What is the reason you're asking for the ID?
You got about 2 seconds before a window's getting busted out.
Can you tell us the reason?
I'm afraid to
Please don't smash.
to put my hand down. Listen, I'm afraid to put my hand down because I don't want you to say that
Roll the window down. That's all.
The window's
It's not enough.
the window's cracked.
You can put your hand down there and roll the window down.
You can hear us, right?
I'm really scared of you.
We're afraid of you.
Like he doesn't even sound convinced. We're afraid of you.
Right.
It's a war veteran.
Funny how the blind guy keeps the cop straight in the center of
Tell
the
me what
frame.
crime you suspect us of committing?
Cut the car off.
It's cold out.
Cut the car off.
It's cold.
One.
Please don't
Stop.
smash the window.
Please don't smash my window. I don't want to reach
Please
down.
stop. Please stop.
Stop.
What do you need?
What do you want? Are you?
Can you
They've
help?
said
Can
it
you
like
stop?
said it like 10 times. He wants your
What is
ID.
going on?
Please, there's another
Right.
somebody on your right. Can I tell him you
Is-
can't see?
Yeah,
He's blind.
Roll the window
I
down.
want to help.
Get out.
What do I do?
okay, yeah, he's gonna
Just a second.
threaten
Can
violence.
I give you my? I'll show you my ID.
Like, and she says he is blind. Like that has anything to do with her rolling down the window. It doesn't.
Right.
Yeah,
It
right.
doesn't. Like,
I'm gonna get my ID out. I'm getting my ID. It's in my back pocket.
About 10 seconds.
It's in my pocket. It's in my
Get your ID
pocket.
out now.
It's in my pocket.
Get your ID out, sir.
I don't have one. I'm blind. I
So
don't have
notice
one.
how when the cop moves left to right, the blind guy moves his camera to keep the cop center frame.
I will show you my ID. Come on, man.
Give me the ID.
Dang.
He's threatening to hurt
You
you.
get like a Guinness World Record for best blind photographer or something. Shit.
South Jersey said blind justice
Maybe-
is the best camera work.
So let's assume that he is completely not just legally blind, but his vision is exactly as he describes it, right? You know, it's like a kaleidoscope of colors. He can't really, you know, tell who's there. It's just shapes and lights or whatever, you know, whatever major blindness that he's at. Like, what does that have to do with her behavior at all? Right? They asked for them simply to ID themselves. That probably would have been enough right there. And, you know, we're fighting about it. And like, from start to finish, his disability is inconsequential to her behavior. Like, right, calling out like
Exactly.
he's blind, like it has nothing to do with it anyway. Like, I feel like in this instance, the only reason that blindness would even be discussed is because they invoke it, right? Like, it has nothing to do with it whatsoever.
Thank you,
Yeah,
shithead.
it's an excuse. And I take personal exception to him using his veteran status. If he is a veteran, we can get into that at another point. But there's nothing about being a veteran that gives you the right to be an asshole.
I will clear this up right now. And again, like, I do not have anything. I cannot give a definitive, verified answer. What I can say that is, at this juncture, I have uncovered enough circumstantial evidence to at least suggest that he probably does have some sort of military service. The extent I don't know. But I mean, the fact of the matter is that he does have an address hit that comes back to a particular military base at the time that would be described, right? Like, there's some family Facebook postings and things of that nature that do suggest that he probably did at least serve stateside.
Peeled a lot of potatoes.
Possibly.
Right. Well, and here's my take on it, because I am a veteran. I'm a retired Navy officer, and I
Thank
do
you for your
have.
service.
Thank you. The only reason that I
like,
even
you have to say that.
yeah, it's obligatory.
Oh, he was
The only
laughing
reason-
at me.
The only reason I bring that up is to say that when I got my disability rating from the VA, they sent me a letter and there was a list of things. Here's what you're entitled to. Nowhere on that list did it say that I was entitled to be an asshole.
Right.
So,
Early clubhouse leader for comment of the night, South Jersey,
I
South
know.
Scotch.
Listen, I felt
right.
he was cracking up at me, and that's why I got a little thrown off there. Like, as soon as I thank you for your service, because I didn't see the comment, but sorry, that was Sasquatch. You just distracted us. I apologize. Continue.
no, that was all I was saying is
Yeah.
You served. Okay, great. A lot of us did. You don't get to be a dick.
Right. I mean, so I'm sorry. We can go back to this interaction, which is going as well as you think that it would. I'm sure at this point still. Yeah.
Yeah. I get 10% off at Home Depot. Nothing else.
Why do you want the window down, sir?
To get out of the car. Cut the car off, get out of the car.
Why do you want us out of the car?
Give me more chances.
But I
all right?
gave you
I'm
my
about to
ID.
go in there, I'm gonna take you out of the car.
I'm calling the
All right?
sheriff.
Why?
Understand that.
We
Calling
don't.
the
So
sheriff.
now they're calling in sheriffs.
Also,
Right.
can I say something about because this has always been my biggest contention with sovereign citizens, and just people in general that are questioning. You know, can law enforcement make me get out of a vehicle? Yes, they can. Under the Supreme Court ruled in two different cases. The first one was in the 70s. It was Pennsylvania v. Mims, that the officer can order a person out of a vehicle for any reason. Generally, it's for officer safety reasons why they would order somebody out of a vehicle. And then in I believe it was the 90s, that was extended to all passengers of the vehicle in the case of Maryland versus Wilson. So
Yeah. I went over that in one of my recent videos that, yep, they can get you out of the car. No worries.
So yeah, so we get so essentially, as I'm hearing the conversation here, we do get the sort of general, feel for this video. Right? It's pretty sovereign sit like, and they definitely. This is self-inflicted. I'll just put it that way without, getting into blindness or not blindness. And so this is the reason that blind justice had to go to court in the first place. He was charged with resisting a public officer.
Wait, so they never broke the window? That's like so
No.
anticlimactic.
I know. It's pretty much the money shot of Sovsit videos. So.
Yeah. Well, let's
You're
also talk
pretty
about
deprived.
let's also talk about the reason they were stopped. They were just sitting in the parking lot. They claimed they were playing Pokemon Go.
Right.
The cop says, "What's this car doing there?" All they had to do was say, "Hey, here's my ID. We were just playing Pokemon Go. No big deal. You're free. Have a good night, sir and ma'am." That's what it would have been.
Right. No, 100%, self-inflicted. So I did want to go over his request for modification for the use of the electronic device. If you want to cue that up, Pat, fine. If not, then I will just read it as we go. We can put these on our community pages. Frankly, I got it from their community page. So you can go check it on their own page. But this is the description of devices that Blind Justice requested he be accommodated for, be allowed to bring into the court, right? This was his reasonable accommodation for blindness. An iPhone, a Milestone 3112 voice recorder, GoPro camera and chest harness, Bose Bluetooth headsuit, an Aftershocks Bluetooth headsuit. You gotta have both. Buzz clip obstacle detector, backup batteries, charging cables, his backpack, presumably to carry all the stuff, his white cane, a ball cap to limit light exposure and provide head protection, because I hear that ball caps are quite protective on your head, a selfie stick, and a click rule. Okay, so these
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Okay, so I'm just going to read through it without even, quantifying the merits of this right now, just so that we can wrap our heads around it. The purpose to be used in the courtroom. The requester is legally blind. The listed devices mitigate his disability and help him negotiate his environment. Requester is a veteran and lost his sight due to injuries sustained in the course of his duty. Requester learned to negotiate the world using devices listed above, and they are essential to his safety and well-being. Requester respectfully requests use of the above list devices at all times while in the courthouse, except while going through security upon entry to the courthouse. So this is his request, right? And if you go down, thank you. So we're going to go down. That's what I just read. So that's the first page right there. We're going to go down and we're going to see. Oh, it might be on another document. Hold on. All right. So we'll go to the request. I thought it was all in the same document, but I did not consolidate them. So this is a request that they sent.
Am I in the right one?
Exactly. Yes. Yes. All right, great. I was just making sure we were on the same one. All right. So this is to his attorney regarding the reasonable accommodation request that he had made. Electronic devices, including recording devices, are prohibited in the Rockingham County Courthouse pursuant to an amended administrative order, which order is enclosed. So they gave notice and they sent the order so that they could see what they were talking about. On July 6th, 2020, this office received your request on behalf of your client, Blind Justice, to enter Rockingham County Courthouse with the following. The list that we just went over: iPhone, the voice recorder, GoPro, chest harness, Bluetooth sets, both of them, backpack, buzz clip, backup batteries, all that good stuff. After reviewing this request, this office is unable to grant permission for your client to use all of the listed devices inside the courthouse. All right, so I don't feel like reading this verbatim, but we'll just scroll through and I can explain the gist. So essentially, they did allow the obstacle detector, backup batteries, the charging cables, the backpack to carry all the stuff, the white cane, even his ball cap for head protection, and the click rule. And I actually had to look up what a click rule is, but the best that I can see from it is it's some sort of like accommodated measuring device best used for blind woodworkers. So I'm not exactly sure why you would need that in the courthouse, but they allowed it regardless. I don't need to understand. It's not my disability.
Maybe
right?
he wanted to build a coffee table at some point during you know, recess.
Well, because I'm trying to figure out like what is all this stuff.
A lot of time to kill in between hearings.
Yeah, right. Just to do some woodworking sometimes. All right, and they said, but no, like, you know, you can't have the GoPro, both Bluetooth headsets, you know, the chest harness, your iPhone, like that is not necessary to you getting around. So they did end the letter just about with this statement. It's like the third paragraph from the end of the letter. Your client is subject to being held in direct criminal contempt if found to have recorded anything inside the courthouse, audio and or visual, and or found to have shared, downloaded any recording, audio and or visual on any social media platform or allowed anyone else to do the same, right? So they have said, right, if you try to bring this stuff in here, if you share any of this, court hearing, that you are not allowed to record. I'm sorry. Thank you, Teese. And since I subscribe to YouTube, and yeah, you probably should ask them to stand down if you are their boss. Yeah, please do, for all of us. But anyway, so he was warned ahead of time via his attorney that if you try to circumvent this ban that we've had in place that is reinforced by this order and doesn't pass the ADA, then you will be held in criminal contempt. He knew what was going to happen, right? And he was accommodated. They didn't just leave this guy unable to navigate his surroundings.
They were actually pretty lenient.
Your family. Yeah.
That list is pretty thorough. I mean, he gets a lot of shit.
I mean, anything, and again, like, I would very much question how a GoPro helps you navigate your surroundings. Now, I will say his now new self-appointed non-attorney Luck Foyers, who wants to continue to give his expert opinion on the case, however, will not be getting a retainer to do so, insists that he needs the camera for memory. However, if we go back to the original request, they say nothing about memory whatsoever, and there's plenty of other ways that you can get a copy of the court proceedings, right? There's audio tapes that you can order. You can get them through your lawyer. You can order somebody to transcribe the case. Like, you can get that if you can't remember it, right? He was even allowed to have a person with him, right, so that they could recall. You can take notes while you're there.
Yeah, that Luck Foyer guy was trolling my chat this morning.
Really?
And I had never seen him before until I saw him when you guys were talking to him the other day. And all of a sudden he's in my chat this morning. I'm like, what the fuck? He got dealt with pretty quickly.
All right, Spirit. No, I'm okay. So perhaps that is the use of it. Either way, it's on the list. That doesn't really matter. My ignorance on tools for the blind doesn't change the breadth of this documentation that we're putting out here. It was allowed regardless. Obviously, the courts decided that it was a reasonable accommodation. The key word here is reasonable, right? Like, and my point is that these items that are not reasonable, that are clearly geared towards trying to circumvent this rule, you cannot film the proceedings. And if Blind Justice wanted to die on that hill, right, and he decided, I am very much opposed to the administrative order banning, photography device inside the courtroom, then you need to be straightforward about that if you're going to fight it, because trying to sneak through the ADA to accomplish that goal doesn't do anything for anybody's rights, right? If that's something that you really feel seriously about, like, people need to have the right to do this, which I do not feel that way, but he might, right? Obviously, on some level, he does. At least he feels like he should be able to, right? Why do we have a picture of Mike up there? Was not just Blind Justice?
Yeah, I think it's because his eyes were wide open and it was bright out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, either way, like, this isn't an ADA issue. I would say at this point, I will presume, right, that he needs a baseball hat for light exposure and a click rule and a cane. Like, fine, like, you need all that stuff. Like, we'll give that to you. We don't even have to talk about that right now, but you don't need a GoPro. That's insane, right? And so, I mean, you're seeing somebody who very clearly is creating an issue and challenging a particular administrative order, right? That is the issue that he has very clearly by his actions. I don't even think I can read through this remonstrance. I know we'll get to that too, but he is doing it in such a way that there will be no precedent set from this. He's trying to use it as an ADA issue, and it's not applicable. It's just simply not. The court did everything they were supposed to do, right? They didn't obstruct him and keep him out of the courthouse and refuse to let him to go to his court case. Okay, we'll talk about that later. I'm sorry. So what the heck was I going to say? Stop pointing at the comments to me while I'm in the middle of a rant, please. Yeah. So, but I mean, this is, he's not doing anything other than essentially trying to weasel his way into being able to film for his purposes. There's no activism behind this. And he was told, right? Like, you cannot bring these devices in, you cannot record, you cannot share, you will be held in criminal contempt, and he proceeded to do so anyway. Like, this is like 100% all he had to do was show up to court with no friends, no entourage, not a million cameras out and everything else, and all his camera equipment strapped to him. All he had to do was say, okay, I'm bringing in the items that have been, reasonably accommodated for me and nothing else, because I'm not going to break this rule. But this is what he's trying to do, and he's taking away that is just completely unproductive and, self-serving.
Yeah, he simply wanted to be a martyr. He set up the situation in which he could call himself, a martyr so that he can e-beg.
See, but I think honestly what it is that I mean, the impression that I get from him is I think he thinks he's smarter than the law, right?
Oh, definitely.
And I think that he thinks in his head, and his wife obviously thinks as well because of her full support for this, that they have found an impenetrable loophole in the ADA, right? To where they can force whatever benefits or behaviors or exemptions that they please at that time. Same, I don't have to give you my ID. I'm not going to roll down my window. Wait, he's blind. Like, that has nothing to do with it here. Like, your protected status does not protect you from yourself. It just doesn't.
Well,
it protects you from, blatant actual discrimination, so that, but you get the same shake at life as everybody else does, within theory. That's the ideal anyway, right? And you do with that what you will. And so, I mean,
right.
These are not issues of discrimination. These are issues of, two grown adults that don't have enough sense to just roll down their windows. Like,
yeah.
give them your ID, go on with your day.
Have you seen her live streams? I mean, there's not a whole lot going on between those ears.
Well, one thing that it's
I don't.
to me is like, it's the same thing with the First Amendment auditors. Like, they're going to end up making it harder for people actually trying to, exercise their rights, or in this case, use the ADA. They're going to make it harder for those people to actually use the ADA for stuff they may need, because they might start putting on restrictions and they feel like people are abusing it or something,
It's the same thing as people who abuse the service dog policies.
Right.
Their emotional
Right.
support chihuahua.
Exactly.
I think
Right.
I think in this case, though, it is beyond that, and that this is just futile. This is just legitimately, like, there is no possible legal justification that they have to continue to try to fight this out, and just not, like, this is, I mean, if you are going to continue to try to bring these prohibited devices in, right, like, they're going to continue to bounce you right back out, and you will get whatever consequences are coming your way. Like, this is pretty impenetrable.
Yeah, everybody's on to him at this point.
Well, I just mean there is absolutely no way that you can argue that he is being, denied an accommodation that is reasonable, that they are somehow discriminating against him. Like, the fact of the matter is, a reasonable accommodation or modification is set up so that you have equal access to the things that everybody else does, whether you're able-bodied or not. That is the point. And the fact of the matter is that unilaterally equal access, nobody can bring these devices into that fucking court. Nobody can record. That's it. I'm sure that they probably have some judicial permissions that you can apply for, but that's what he has to do at that point. That's what we have to do in Massachusetts. You have to apply for credentials, and then if you are granted those credentials to, film courtrooms and court appearances, then you have to ask permission every single time from the judge, right? And at their discretion, they will either allow or disallow it.
Right.
So that has nothing to do with the ADA. Everybody has the same treatment on that one.
And this may not be a perfect analogy, but what I likened it to was somebody who can't walk, and he's like, nope, I don't want a wheelchair. I'm going into the courthouse with my jetpack.
Well, but at least if you demanded a jetpack, it would still serve your mobility, right? To some extent, right?
Yeah.
Like, it might be an outrageous, and there might be a more reasonable accommodation that you can be in the middle with, but at least it relates to, what the wheelchair does, which is your motion. Like, a GoPro and a cane, like, the GoPro has nothing to do with your mobility, or, at all.
So the jetpack is even more reasonable.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying.
Asking for a jetpack would be more reasonable. I agree. Like, this is just absolute ridiculous.
So the next time a fat guy goes to court, can he ask for a reasonable accommodation for a sandwich?
Yeah, you should. My blood pressure will get low. Like, no, blood sugar, I meant. So yeah, so this is, it gets better though. I know I always mess up my words. You're always, listen, whenever certain people are in the studio with me, they give me looks and I get distracted. But so this is what and I'm explaining this to you because I know you're not caught up on this either. So essentially what they've done now is they've decided that the only way that they can combat this terrible miscarriage of justice is to flood the fuck out of these places. Call, the judge, call the ADA, call anywhere that you possibly can. So this is his wife, and she comes, and I think I was actually, this may be the one of the chats I went into, and she was like, you just have to keep calling. And I'm done arguing with these people. I was like, yeah, you guys should all call. It'll help them a lot. You should fucking do it. Everybody, let's all call 3 times a person.
Are those her real ears, or is she cosplaying as an elf?
Oh, I don't think she's a bad looking girl. I just think she has terrible ideas. Literally, I was just like, at this point, like, you know what, if you want people to mess up your case that bad, like, God, they're going to do it either way. Might as well, like, yeah, I mean, just, do it as swift and hard as possible so they can shut it down immediately.
Right. That won't piss anybody off.
Right. That'll really help your case. That's a great idea. Did Johnny Cochran give you that legal advice? But so this is what she's telling people to do.
Okay. I just want to give you guys a quick update. It's late. I need to go to bed, but I want to make sure that you have something brief that you can come in and look at pretty quickly to get an idea of what's going on. Really, the fact is I don't really have any new information. Mike is at Central City Prison.
Then why are you talking?
He's in the hole. He's in solitary confinement. They're calling it quarantine.
No, he's not.
Because that's what they do for the first 14 days when people come in there, apparently.
What?
What'd you say?
I was just saying he's not in solitary confinement. That's not what quarantine is. Just saying.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
I thought all new inmates went into solitary.
No.
Well,
No.
It's not the whole. It's just quarantine.
Yeah,
I would assume they'd be on like a med unit, right?
It's
right.
Well, basically, from my understanding, it's when you get processed into prisons, a lot of places they will put you in kind of a weird limbo period where you're being classified, your behavior is being observed. They're catching, they're looking at the facts of your case, your sentence, all that stuff. And they're doing all sorts of in processing, your medical and everything else to make sure that you're set basically to serve the rest of your sentence out. And
there's no sentence here, though.
Well, I mean, he's being held for contempt. So whatever that's, but in his case, though, his might be more medical related, though, because of the disabilities that he claims.
Well, I know that they've moved him. So this is, this must have been done after they moved him to prison then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's where my confusion was. Because I'm like, really? For county jail? I'm pretty sure they just throw people in there. They don't classify them. But I forgot. So he has been moved to prison. But yeah, I mean, that's very clearly because, they cannot honor. And I'm sure he's given them a list of, requested accommodations. And I'm sure they're doing, as much as they possibly can. So,
but also too, I mean, we're in a different time now too with COVID. So they might have a quarantine period regardless.
Right.
Apparently. But it's solitary confinement. He's by himself. He is not allowed to make phone calls or receive phone calls. I can't visit him. And as far as I know, nobody from outside the prison system.
How does he know that he's in solitary confinement if he can't give any phone calls to her?
Exactly.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, I was just thinking that in my head too. Like, how do you have all this information? And like, it's so far, it pretty much sounds like jail. Like, you can't receive calls in jail. Like, you're not having visitors when you first get into jail. That's not happening either. And like,
they took away his hoverboard.
Right.
If she says he needs $800 for bail, I'm out of here.
No. So to their credit, from what I understand, they have now determined they were getting donations, and then they said we're just not bailing them out. So whether or not they continue to, I don't know. Like that, really, the whole bail thing doesn't make any sense because at some point you get that bail back. Like you owe people money back with it. I don't know why they try to pull the scam all the time, but
Wait, so if they're not going to bail him out and they were collecting money for bail, does that mean they're giving refunds?
No, I don't know. I think she was pretty upfront about spending it on dinner or something. A lot of that stuff, I shouldn't even brought it up because I'm hearing it like secondhand and I can't keep up on all of their individual. I was much too busy looking at I spent a lot of time comparing these, documents and going, okay, so, what did he ask for? When was it filed? Okay, when did they give a reply? It really, this stuff is just dumb. I mean, this isn't even the good part. Where does she get to the part where she's literally telling people, oh, can we watch Swamp Rat, actually?
Oh, God, that lady.
Oh, jeez. The Nazis.
This is even better. So you've got the wife that has a bunch of information, from a man who can't make or receive phone calls, right? But we have over here.
Thank you, JY.
Oh, thank you, JY. I'm sorry, guys. I'm hyper focused on this tonight and not thanking people enough. Thank you, guys. Thank you, JY. So we have this lady over here.
And her idiot son.
Jeff will not pay me on the disability issue because she is too scared. She knows nothing on the issue.
I think he means debate
I was
you.
going to say, I'm not going to pay you, but I'll debate you. That's fine. I would try to do them on Thursdays anyway, but so far anyone that challenges me to a debate immediately takes right off. But I would actually really appreciate that because I'm kind of sick of the, constant insult flinging around. I'd like to have some actual discussions with people, right? I try sometimes. Sometimes they get too dumb and I just yell at them, but I'm trying. I'm changing my ways. But anyway, we have this lady, all right, and she's on the case, thank God. So we want to go to 31 minutes in, I think is really when it starts to get good. We might have to skip around a little bit more than that. What?
It's only 9 minutes long.
Oh, so maybe it's the other one that I'm thinking of. This is the wrong one. It's
the one
second
that the one that Degeneration Nation did was pretty good.
Oh, I see the right one.
Where she gets hung up 3 times in a row by the FBI.
I forgot there were 2 because she couldn't just call once. She had to make multiple phone calls. Oh, this is just.
And then she said that he was a Green Beret. How did you arrive at that conclusion?
Well, no, he has made that claim. We found that in a couple. I think a blog that they publish, and I think another interview.
What is that?
Oh, the cat. Oh my God. That's the blurry in her hand and the cat. I honestly was do we just get porn bombed for a minute?
Jay Hubert.
Is that the old lady? Is that the old lady from the Goonies?
Yeah. People for blackmail.
Yep.
Okay,
That's the only reason they started.
Now, can I just say, and this is I'm trying to stay professional, guys. I'm really bad at it, though. When I think about the people, right, when Josh Abrams or Blind Justice or Furry or anybody gets up there and they're like, guys, call this police station or call the mayor or call that. And everybody's, yes, we're doing it right now. What's the number? Oh, my gosh, I'll call again. It's busy. This is the mental image that I have in my head. The trailer, the glasses, the hair, literally everything about this woman.
Yeah,
this is the exact picture of what I see. When they're telling people to make these call floods, this is who I see receiving the message.
Just really quickly, if this is her good side, what does the other side look like?
Oh, poor girl. No, but I mean, she just literally from start, you can tell that she's just probably not that well educated, lives in a trailer. She's very angry. She's not exactly sure why. She's arguing with, I'm not sure if that's her son or her boyfriend, to be completely honest. But I haven't looked at her enough to know.
It's her son cousin.
Whatever it is, you know what I mean? I'm just this is exactly, that makes it even worse though, because these people are kind of vulnerable, you know what I mean? You can convince them.
Well, I see she also doesn't do the grammar thing very well, because it says more calls for blind justice. What happened to our country?
Yeah. Constitution journalist, what? She even put an old school emoji in there.
Nice.
She put that colon parentheses down because she's sad. All right, here we go. This is when she loses her shit.
Was made because of the communists and the bootleggers.
Oh, rocking the tank top with the cigarette.
Thank you for calling the FBI.
FBI. They're calling the FBI.
Okay, can you spell that for me?
You don't know how to spell Carolina from car, O, line, but instead of an E with an A at the end.
What?
North or south?
Carolina.
Guardian.
No, he's giving up his freaking YouTube channel name.
Guardin, yes.
He doesn't know how to spell Carolina, that's why he couldn't spell it out.
Or Guardian.
Can you spell your last name from start to finish, please.
Golf. Uniform. Alpha. Romeo. Delta.
He fucks this up here.
I guess. Igloo. Alpha.
You can't do it. You can't do it.
Or you can call me back at 843
Listen to this.
260 2374.
So I don't know if y'all know this, but me and MC Toon have a habit of calling First Amendment auditors.
July 17th, 1986.
And lastly,
It's pronounced personal information. What the?
29501.
He looks like he doesn't even know how to hold the phone. You can just tell he's so unsure about like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands.
So I'm laughing. I'm in my house.
I'm the one talking to you.
I'm on speakerphone. I need as per
Because I'm deaf in one ear. I'm deaf in another ear.
Oh,
do
God.
not need to
So many
understand who I am.
disabilities.
No, you're going to violate my Fourth Amendment right to give up all information.
It also says on your recording we don't have to give you information.
You ever heard of anonymous tips?
Am I?
Oh, okay, yes. The federal crime is a violation of.
My pinky's
it's the
paralyzed.
ADA violation.
Oh my God.
what is that?
The American Disability Act.
Oh my God, he's stupid.
A blind
Hot meat
veteran
kettle.
tried to go to court
Call him stupid.
with his assistive devices, which helps him read and navigates, and also
Helps him read and
record because
navigate.
he can't give a description to somebody, so he can actually show them the recording to give a description to somebody. The judge told him he couldn't bring any of that in,
Bullshit.
or the video or anything. Even though ADA says he can because they're assistive devices.
Nope.
The judge didn't want to hear that.
He can get a lawyer.
He does have a lawyer.
Oh my
I hate y'all
God!
keep
What
saying
the
that.
hell do we pay them for?
So you're telling me if we go to report a federal crime, it's not going to be a crime unless the other person gets a lawyer to get solve the issue, right? That's your logic.
What I'm saying, sir, if you allow me to speak,
Huh.
what I'm saying is if the judge in a courtroom says that he cannot have recording devices in that judge's courtroom, then he needs to seek the counsel of an attorney.
He did. The attorney, he did. The judge still denied it.
Okay.
Not only throw him in the street in the rain.
Hold on, can we pause it?
Oh,
I was trying to kill. Oh my gosh! These are the fucking mental giants, the intellectual colossus that are calling and on behalf of Mike Nelson.
right.
Like he was essentially trying to argue with the FBI like it was the judge himself. Like, yeah, but like we already did that. Like, he's telling him like, you need to hire, an attorney because obviously like, the FBI is not going to argue your case in court. They're simply going to investigate a potential crime, right? Like not what am I looking for? Mediate ongoing legal dispute. And literally as he's saying like you need to get a lawyer, this lady is just so cooked. She's like, you idiot.
Right. Did y'all notice the body language of his lawyer when he was just like, oh, I gotta say some more dumb shit on behalf of my client?
Yeah, it's just painful. I'm sorry. We can keep watching it because it's really good. I'm just like this is a really good movement they have going on here. I'm like, it's full of really fine.
Jeff Parker, I have no idea what you're talking about. This is my voice, so
It
I'm
is.
actually really sensitive about it.
He
Dick.
is.
Also, Jeff,
It's his disability. You just broke the ADA.
He did, and his Fourth Amendment.
I had throat cancer.
He violated your. He definitely violated your Third Amendment there. How dare he?
Jeff, so Jeff Parker, he's actually he's got a disability himself, and he was wanting to talk about and discuss, the ADA with you, and he can't see the chat, so I wanted just to, because people in chat were saying, we need to tell him that this is a closed panel tonight, and that
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, no, we're not. Although I'm happy to debate you, Jeff Parker, I did not mean right this second. I'm sorry for I didn't communicate that well. What you can do is you can go ahead. I thought I said Thursday, but you can go ahead and you can email us info@massholereport.com. And somebody will get on that and we can schedule that, get a moderator going, all that good stuff. Sorry.
I'm fairly certain Jeff is blind, so I don't know. I've seen him before on, I can't remember. I think maybe Paulie's or something. So, so I get he can have somebody that can help him with that. But anyway.
Okay. So yeah.
The same. The Rockingham. No, I think that was the Raleigh County.
Raleigh.
The county of Raleigh. Yes, actually.
You can too.
Yes,
You can too.
You can too. It's all over YouTube underneath Blind Justice.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. They have everything on video recording on YouTube.
I missed the video where they threw him out on the street unconscious.
Yeah, but
you can see all of these tyrants.
He's a friend of ours. We do know him personally.
Okay, that's good. Hold on. Stop right there, though. So they're going to go a step further now. And not only are they calling like on behalf of him for this legal, but now she's like, he'll co-sign for me as a person. Like, this is, we're boys. Like, that's just, I mean, just what a scathing indictment.
Going in the courthouse.
Yeah.
Trying to go in good faith to have equal access to the court.
Why does he need video recording devices if he's blind?
Because he can't give a description. How does he know that was the judge sitting in front of him instead of someone else?
And also, it's used for him to read. The device reads for him.
No, it's not. If it violates a federal law,
Oh my God!
Oh my God! They're like, what the hell? Because it helps him to remember, or he can't identify people. Is that like this is just, that it's not legitimate if you ask a question, right, and you get multiple answers to the same question. Like something is not legit at that point. There should be one objective answer. Like, what does he need it for? This.
Don't look now, Kate, but her other son is playing the banjo right behind you.
I appreciate that. I like when he does that. It's very, listen, it sets the tone.
I mean,
I only wish that, honestly, we would have been, we got a new camera, guys. And we didn't even set it up because that banjo would look good if it wasn't. I've been chastised for that. Anyway, moving on. That banjo just threw me off. God damn it.
I apologize. She's so upset.
Yeah, she can't believe that she got hung up on.
I'm getting up too upset to mess with him.
Is he a passenger in a car and
Yes.
he got arrested because he didn't have an ID?
Yes, sir. This ain't the full of it, honey. This ain't the full of it. Wait a minute. They have the first time he was in jail. They have put him out in the street.
Oh, here we go.
Unconscious because he's blind. He had several. He's a Green Beret veteran, and he had several.
I don't think she knows what that even means.
That's how he lost his sight. And when they put him in jail, they took all of his stuff and wouldn't turn off the lights, and that caused a big migraine. And he wasn't responsive. He was in the hospital for 3 days after that.
Right.
Now, a couple of days ago, he had to show up for court for this. And he has devices that the VA and the ADA gave him. One device helps him read. One device navigates for him. He's trying to be as normal as possible.
Can we stop
and
there?
all these devices is for his disability.
Hold on. We have to stop Swamp Rat right there. Oh my God. So does anyone on this panel or anybody in the chat believe that first of all, let's hold on, back up. The ADA does not give you assistive devices because it's an act, right? It's not like a foundation or a group that just like goes around handing out GoPros and chest straps like the fucking.
Right. You beat me to it. The Second Amendment does not give you guns.
Right. Yep. Right. Like, oh my gosh. But, do you believe that the VA hospital gave him a GoPro as an assistive device. Like, does anybody here believe that?
Absolutely not.
Nope.
You're lucky to
Absolutely
get a fucking cotton swab from the VA.
I can't see where you could justify that on, in a budget, right? Like, oh yeah, we got this guy a GoPro. Like, for what? Like, oh, he's blind. Like, yeah, it makes sense.
So he could do wakeboarding competitions.
It's just crazy. Like, they didn't give you that. And so if you look at, hold on, let's pull up this. So you saved that script that she wrote, right? This is where it gets. I guess let's finish with Swamp Rat first, and then we'll get on to their list of what to do this weekend, because it's fucking ridiculous.
Judge wouldn't let him in the courthouse at all with these devices. He even asked, son. He even asked for a computer visual setting, because he would, and they didn't want that either. But yet the next morning, that's what they did to him. But right now, he's in the prison in Raleigh, D.C.
Raleigh, D.C.
The judge gave him 30
District
days.
Court, I think she means.
And he's got a $50,000 cash bond. His
Hear them
judge is
both.
biased. The jail is biased to him. They treat him bad. They won't let him have his devices. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
What was he originally arrested for? You said that he didn't have an ID and he was in a car?
Yes, sir.
That's not illegal not to carry an ID.
I know that, sir. I know that, sir, but that's what he got arrested for. And then they also got him for resisting arrest, because when they grabbed him, he didn't know who was grabbing him. He kind of turned, because he's blind. He can't run nowhere. And they that's a resisting arrest. But his charge was not having an ID while blind.
That's not.
Yeah, it's not what happened at all. Like,
Thank you, Ed.
Sorry, guys. Thank you so much.
I know, sir. It's really outrageous what this county is, Madison County. And if you want to, it's on YouTube, because all of it's been recorded and everything. We've been fighting this for days. If you look up Blind Justice. Yeah, he lives in, this all happened in Madison, North Carolina, which is Rockingham. Ain't that Rockingham County? Yeah, Rockingham County. But if you want to do some research, go on YouTube and look up Blind Justice. Everything's on video. They got
the best research starts with YouTube.
Excuse me?
What do I look up if I want to do research, did you say?
Blind Justice.
Okay.
I mean, even the town was. I'm sorry?
Would you be able to give me his name?
His real name is Michael Nelson.
And she knows that because they know each other in person.
Would you, so I can check with our veteran service people and see if there's something we can do to help him. Can I get your name too?
You sure can.
Okay.
Tina, Tina.
Okay.
Bettingstein, Beristain.
Wait, that's a fake name?
I don't know.
She gives multiple different names throughout all these calls.
Yeah, it's pronounced Bettingstein. It's Spanish.
Yeah, all those Jewish Spanish
Yes,
people.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, it sounds terrible, really.
It's outrageous. I mean, these officers.
Totally outrageous.
I mean, these officers. You when you see the video, you'll be surprised. They would drive their trucks to him and rear it up, where all that black smoke's come out the muffler.
That's not even the cops doing
and
that.
wasn't
it
the
in
cops.
his face, and the officer's standing right there. And when he complains, the officer's, well, he's in the street. We can't stop him from riding in the street.
You kind of can't.
Who was he riding with when he was, stopped like that?
Oh, he was with his wife. He was with his wife. They was playing Pokemon in a parking lot of a church. And as they was about to pull off, so she showed her ID and everything. But they pulled him out the car, wanted his ID, and he says, "I don't have one. I'm blind. I don't drive, and I don't carry one."
Okay, hold on.
And that's when they grabbed him.
Thank you for doing this, by the way. I think we have to move on from this. I don't know. Do you guys want to keep watching this, or
No, I can't.
I feel like we can talk about this all night. Honestly,
think
holy shit!
I think my IQ points dropped a little bit.
But I mean, so let's get into. Hold on, let me get the. Should we talk about the remonstrance? The remonstrance is just so they wrote this letter to the North Carolina General Assembly, and like I don't even. I honestly I don't think that I have it in me to read this word salad right now. We will post it again. It's posted in their community too, but I'm just going to.
Who's the remonstrance?
So this is a letter that Blind Justice has, and I believe this was pro se. Let me just make sure that I don't believe. Yeah, no attorney would ever put his fucking name on this. I don't even know why I checked, honestly. But this is a letter that he has titled Remonstrance to the North Carolina General Assembly. And he is demanding, removal of the judge. I mean, the entire thing is just I can't read all this word salad right now. No, I can't. But essentially, he's pretty much demanding that they remove a bunch of people from this case because he feels like there's some sort of retaliation, I believe, or it's actually kind of hard to make sense of. Essentially, they're saying, like, you didn't give us what we wanted, so you should, get these people out of here and we'll try again with somebody else. Yeah, and they're citing, prohibition against retaliation and coercion, retaliation, interference, coercion, intimidation, conspiracy against rights, deprivation of rights under color of law, all because he can't have a GoPro in a courtroom, right? So that is pretty crazy. But we also have somewhere she made kind of a script, and she's telling people to email, to call, to fax, whatever you can do this information over to these. And like some of it was pretty crazy, but essentially she just wants you to call Flood. Do we have that?
Did you see the part where she wrote the script that she wanted people to use, and then she had her daughter proofread it, and her daughter found several typos?
Oh, well.
She said that.
Here it is, Free Blind Justice. I think this is it. Yeah. So, Pat, you want to put this one up too? Actually, we should go through this one because this is their master plan. This is their activism playbook right here. This is it. This is what we're doing. It's saved under Free Blind Justice, Pat. It took me a minute to find it.
Thank you again, shithead.
Oh, thank you, shithead. The BPD station. I'm going to go down to that courthouse I'm not going to tell you exactly when I'll be there on Tuesday, but I'll be there because I deserve that closure with Josh, and I want to be the last face that he looks at so I can smile and wave at him because his channel is dead. All right, so they're saying that you should use the hashtags Free Blind Justice, Justice for Blind Justice, or Free the Blind Dude. Right? That's what they want you to do. They have a petition, right? This is the possibly Twitter friendly version, to raise awareness and get people to pay attention to this. Blind veteran in prison after being arrested for a failure to appear on the steps of the courthouse. Right. So first of all, he's in prison because of his, ADA requests. Like that's why he's there. Yeah. And he was arrested for a failure to appear because he wouldn't give up his devices. It says guards block his entryway while the judge issues an FTA warrant. Why? Because he dared stand for disability rights. That's not correct. Right?
That's not right.
That's not what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also grammatically incorrect because it says failure to appear on the steps of the courthouse, but he did appear on the steps of the courthouse.
They mean that the warrant they put out was Yeah,
I
I should
know.
wear.
I'm just being a dick.
I was like, hold on a minute. Like this entire thing is just, they want you to write a letter. It's just a terrible idea all the way around. Send letters to the blind guy so you can send letters to him. They want you to call the town of Madison Police Department, City Hall, email the mayor. All the aldermen are here. Like all these people that are really going to be moved that this guy can't bring a GoPro in. I will wear a Puma suit. No, I don't have a Puma suit. Thank you, shithead. But this entire thing is just a terrible idea. Like, and remember, with all these, and this is a pretty detailed list, right? Like, this is pretty. I'll give it. Like, it's well organized. They thought of a lot of things. They're putting this list into the hands of people like the swamp rat over there. Like, this is who they're directing to do all this. Like, nothing that can go wrong there, right? Terrible.
Yep.
Any other thoughts on blind justice?
I'm sure there's so much more to come.
I just
yeah.
wait till he's exposed for just the idiot that he is and the scams he's running, completely. Because I mean, they're hopefully, because I highly doubt. Yeah, he might have been in the military, but I highly doubt he was a Green Beret. So hopefully that some information will come out about that. But also, just it just irritates me, just the amount of stupidity.
I'm willing to say without reservation that he was not a Green Beret, and here's why. No, hear me out.
I'll listen.
My last 2 tours, I was at the Joint Special Operations Command, and then my Twilight tour was an operations officer at SEAL Team 2. I was not a SEAL. 1,000 times, I was not a SEAL. I was an operations officer there, and I did my final deployment with 10th Special Operations Group in Stuttgart, Germany. That's a very, very tight-knit community. If he was a Green Beret in good standing when he left, there would be some Green Berets on those courthouse steps with him. I can say that without reservation, no doubt in my mind. He was never, ever a special operator. No, I'm not putting that on y'all. I'm saying that for me.
Okay. I will say this, right? And again, like, I don't know. I just, this is really, again, preliminary sort of stuff. I don't know until I hear back from one of the public, and I'm not the only person who's put out public records requests. I know other people have, like, one way or the other, something will come up. But I do like skip traces sometimes, particularly when I'm trying to piece these things together, right? So I did see some indication that he was stationed at Fort Campbell, right? Right on the Kentucky and Tennessee borderline. So I was able to see that, yes, an address that would be on base there in Tennessee, I believe it was, corresponded, right, to that time. Now, Fort Campbell is home to the 101st Airborne Division and the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. So there is a possibility there.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
the
very
Green Berets
loose.
are at Fort Bragg.
Okay, that I didn't know, right? Again, like, very loose, but I just try to approach this from all ways. I don't know. And again, we don't know anything about his service record right now, and certainly his willingness to bring it up as this defense and an unwillingness to discuss it in any sort of detail isn't a great sign.
Yeah,
No.
what Schrodinger's cat was talking about, the Joint Special Operations Command, it's at Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Okay.
And that's where the selection courses for the Green Berets, that's their headquarters, for lack of a better term.
Right. Okay. And the 101st at Fort Campbell, Kentucky is airborne. They're not special operators.
They're not airborne anymore. They're actually air assault.
Yeah, they're still generically called airborne.
Did you say aerosol?
Yep.
Yeah, they do the chemtrails.
No, air assault is basically it's you exit out of there's a school the Army offers called Air Assault School, and you learn how to rappel out of helicopters, do all kinds of interesting stuff. So anyway, I'm not going to get into that too much, but it's a school that you can go to, like airborne school or ranger school.
Right, but you're not a Green Beret after that.
Nope.
Not even close.
Nope.
Okay. Pat, did I send you the new criminal complaint for auditing the USA?
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
great.
this is going to be good.
Yeah. So this is actually going to be quick, right? Because this is something where he hasn't actually been arraigned yet. So we have very minimal information. We do have some requests in to get a little bit more information because the little bit of information that we do have, right, looks like this is going to be a fucking weird story. So essentially, Glenn was charged with criminal trespassing, and we can put this up on the screen wherever you want, Pat. The originating incident seems to be October 14th, right? Oh, no, that's not it. Sorry, I
There's
didn't
a
do
ton
it.
of files in here, so I don't know which one
I
it
know.
is.
I'll find it. Sorry. What's that? Oh, thanks for joining, Lola. All right. I can talk about it either way, but so he has been charged with criminal trespass for an incident that stemmed it happened on August 14th. Nope, that's not it either. And the address that was given, I looked up, and it appears to be a Walmart supercenter. So we went through and looked at his videos to see if we could find oh, thanks for joining, Lou. Find like the video of this incident or whatever, but I can't find a video from that time period at a Walmart supercenter. You couldn't either, right, Pat?
No, I couldn't.
No. So I mean, like, I don't know what happened, but like, can you imagine? Like, any guesses on what Glenn did to get himself trespassed from a Walmart supercenter?
I can only imagine.
Probably just being his general self.
Yeah, I've got a video recently of a guy that got arrested at a Walmart for he went in with his motorcycle helmet off and refused to take it off. I'm like, how ghetto is that to get arrested at a Walmart? Like,
I just want to know what Glenn did. Like, and there's no video of it, so it was either something. You would think that if it was something related to his stupid YouTube videos, that he would like share it, right? Like
his phone probably was dead and he was too stupid to know it. And he was standing there holding up his dead phone, yelling nonsense.
I'm going to send you the document on Messenger. Okay, Pat?
Okay.
I was about to say, because that should have if you did a open records, there should be a case narrative attached, right?
Not yet, because he literally hasn't even been arraigned yet. They're like, you might want to, they just, felony mopery. Oh my God. They literally just filed charges on the 30th of September. So it's like brand new. Like when I talked to the clerk's office, she was like, you might want to wait until after November 25th when he's arraigned and make another request. And I was like, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm going to be doing that. In the meantime, I did send in a request to the police department just in case, but the odds of them giving it to me, especially before arraignment, are pretty low.
You guys do your homework. That's like hardcore. That's like,
you don't have the case number, do you?
So what I'm doing is I'm sending this document over to Pat on Messenger right now, if I can find him.
Do you have the case number for that incident, Kate, or no?
I do.
Okay. Because I figured, because usually, now, again, I don't know because I've never filed one, but we tell people all the time, if they get the case number within 3 to 5 days, they can get access to the police report.
Yeah, it's CRP 09112. And hold on, instead of sending it on Messenger, I'm just going to send it on Discord because I literally don't even use my Facebook enough to be able to log into it on this computer. All right. Where the fuck is Mitch? In the basement.
Kate still got him tied up.
Hey. Actually, no, I'm not even going to say anything about it. I'm just going to kill it right there. All right. Oh, here you are, Pat. All right. So I just sent it to you now.
In Discord or Messenger? Okay.
Discord, because I literally, I can't even get into my Facebook right now. Sorry. That killed the momentum right there. Sorry. Like I need to start organizing. So I literally just started doing like more of an organization. Did you see it in the Dropbox? I started to like, do it by person and all that stuff, but I need to do it better. So this is all that we have right now is just the original complaint. And I'm not sure. I'm curious if this is like his video stuff really, or if he tried to shoplift, because wouldn't shoplifting get you, kicked from a Walmart?
I mean, they could, yeah, but he would have a charge of shoplifting though as well too.
Not necessarily. Oh, I guess. No, if he's getting a criminal trespass, doesn't that mean that he broke a trespass order? Don't they have to do that first?
No, it depends. If you refuse, okay, so this is the way it works. So let's say I'll give you a perfect example. Walmart has the masking policy, right? So let's say you try to walk in Walmart without a mask. Well, and they're like, okay, you need to put your mask on. You're like, no, fuck you. I'm going to keep my mask. I don't want to wear a mask. They're going to say, sir, you need to leave the store then. And then if you refuse to leave the store, then you're going to be recited with a criminal trespass warning, because the business owner can do that. And so they'll give you criminal trespass warning. And then from there, if they're like, okay, now you need to leave. And then if you ever come back there, you can be arrested again. Then if they refuse to leave from there after getting the trespass warning, then he would be arrested for criminal trespass.
Okay. So it's all speculation until we get that. And I hope we get it soon, because like, if there's one thing about Glenn videos and Glenn police reports and everything, he is a funny motherfucker. He really there's something like, he's like a TV character, that guy. If he didn't affect other people, right? Like if he just lived in a bubble like that, like he'd be hilarious. It's just unfortunate they put him around people. All right. So the last thing that we have here, and I think that we can all be excited about this. I am happy to report that Auditing America has a warrant out of Rhode Island, and it looks like they took out this warrant right around the time that he was leaving. I don't know if the two are connected or not, but the reason is hilarious, right? It's for annoying and harassing phone calls, right? So if you ever question yourself whether or not Auditing America calls the police on himself for content, like we're about to tell you that, yeah, he probably does, right? So I'm not going to show the document on the screen, I don't think. If you saw,
I have the whole folder open.
Do you think that we should with this one? Is there any information that should be redacted, or?
We're going to
Possibly,
domestic violence arrest too, right?
Yeah, we got both, and the domestic violence one I can't show.
Why don't you just look at them later, redact what you need to redact, and put them in the community page?
Yeah, I'll put them in the community page, but I'll read it right now. So this affidavit is in support of a request for the issuance of a court-authorized arrest warrant for Anselmo Morales, date of birth, blank, of blank, Providence, Rhode Island, in relation to an ongoing crank or obscene telephone call investigation. On May 12th, 2020, at approximately 1:13 p.m., Trooper Daniel Felice received 3 consecutive phone calls from an anonymous phone number. The male party identified himself only as Enrique, which is a known alias for the subject. The subject was verbally aggressive and continued to talk over the trooper as he attempted to direct his call. The phone call was harassing or annoying in nature and required no police assistance. The subject was notified that it was not a police matter, and the call was terminated. The subject continued to call back 2 additional times, remaining aggressive, and at some points began yelling when he was refused access to the colonel's office. The subject was advised numerous times that the state police can assist him in any police matter. However, since he did not have one, his call would not be transferred, as he was interfering with normal police operations. It should be noted that the subject's continuous phone calls put a state police emergency phone line out of service for approximately 12 minutes. So he actually put, one of their state police emergency lines out of service for an entire 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's not good.
So that is why, he has been charged with obscene and crank phone calls, and there is an active warrant. And it's just weird that, this was taken out right around the time that he bounced.
What an idiot.
Yeah. So,
I guess his spatula wasn't giving him any, so he had to use an actual phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to read off the report just to back up a little for anyone that was not aware. Last week we discussed a little bit that Auditing America and Anselmo Enrique Morales-Torres was arrested on 10/2/2024. It was a felony domestic violence strangulation, right? And he was bonded out on 10/3 and, now has these charges. And because this is actually his third conviction for domestic violence, because he was actually convicted of 2 others. I know somebody had said 1, but it is 2. It's a felony now here. So I'm going to read this off and not put this up on the screen because honestly, the information is just not redacted right now. The format that we got it in made that a little bit difficult. So, all right. The victim defendant in this case is identified as blank. The victim defendant in this case is also identified as Anselmo Enrique Morales-Torres. All right. Both of these individuals are boyfriend, girlfriend, and reside together as a family unit for 8 months. They do not share any children in common. On October 2nd, 2020, at approximately 14:49 hours, I responded to their address, Florida, in reference to a domestic call, battery, touch, or strike. Upon arrival, I made contact with Anselmo, who called 911 dispatch at the front entrance and subdivision of the incident location. I observed Anselmo wearing a torn black shirt and a long scratch wound on his neck. Additionally, I observed Anselmo to have a scratch on his face just below his lower lip. Anselmo advised that his girlfriend of 8 months, blank, and he were in a verbal argument over her children, which then escalated into a physical altercation when she grabbed a cooking pan to threaten Anselmo with it. Anselmo advised he tried to grab the cooking pan out of her hand, which she then knowingly and intentionally ripped his shirt and scratched his neck against his will. Contact was made with Blank, who was on her cell phone laughing and talking with somebody as she sat in the garage at the incident location. Blank advised spontaneously that she cannot believe Anselmo called law enforcement, but she did not. She then started to cry and advised that they were in an argument over her kids and that he knowingly and intentionally grabbed her by the neck against her will, choked her, at which time she could not breathe. Blank advised she had no choice but to claw at him until he released her, and then he snuck out of the house through the backyard. I did not observe any obvious injuries on Blank. Blank added to her statement that Anselmo also battered her outside the residence in the backyard and attempted to choke her again, which she freed herself from her hold. I conducted a query to verify blank and see if they had any prior convictions of battery. Blank had no prior convictions of battery. However, Anselmo had 1 prior conviction of battery outside of Osceola County back in 6/7/2010. Okay, so that's essentially what happened, and then it's just the reasonable or the probable cause rather for the arrest. But this is what happened according to the police report. I don't know. It kind of sounds mutual. Then again, this is one thing I can say. We've read over some of his other domestic violence reports where he has been convicted. And I remember in one of them that he did also have scratches on him. I believe it was either on his back or his neck. And that the victim had claimed it was, she was fighting him off. So that would be consistent, that statement, with, prior cases that he's had.
Well, they'll look at, so when you do a domestic violence investigation, they're going to look at the parties, look at the injuries. If there's injuries, they're going to look for defensive wounds. That can be an indication, because what the idea is to try to identify the primary aggressor and then usually arrest that person. If you can't find who the primary aggressor is, there's no probable cause, then you can't arrest anybody. So,
in this case, they were both arrested.
Right. That's what I've seen here. Is they a lot of times they arrest both.
Yeah, they arrested both, right?
Huh. That's interesting. So she got arrested for the
Yeah, honestly, that makes the whole redaction thing kind of weird, because technically I read out his name and he's a victim too, but he's also the defendant. She's a victim. I don't know. Either way, her identity really isn't important. It's a new name, so so this is now his third alleged victim.
Yeah, but plus she doesn't go on YouTube, making a spectacle of herself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's so these things are really hard to call. Just the fact that this is his, third, or I mean, possibly more. We only have his convictions, really, but his third arrest for domestic violence. Like, it's definitely a pattern there. That's kind of concerning, I guess. I mean, it's nothing new. Like, what happened today, the day ended, and why the sun rose at set, and Anselmo's a wife beater. It really hasn't changed.
Right. Yeah. And when you make yourself a public person, then you kind of, the courts have even ruled that you'd lose that sense of, privacy that private citizens enjoy.
To an extent, though.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah. And surely, the alleged victim, well, the second alleged victim in that case, has nothing to do with any of this. But that's Anselmo. And every time that we're going to talk about him, like, oh, I should try to find that rap video. And I never do. But trust and believe. It's bad. I don't even know what it's called, honestly. I don't even know what to Google.
Yeah, I don't even. I just remember seeing it, and I was not impressed.
Well, obviously, if it's this hard to find, right? It didn't get that successful. It didn't work out. All right. Anything else?
Apparently,
I had a few requests to play the last 4 minutes of the SC Swamp Fox video.
All right, let's watch Swamp Rat, and then we'll end it with Swamp Rat. Fine.
Yeah,
So,
it is pretty humorous.
It is.
What are people in the chat talking about? I've seen this multiple times, talking about Josh pissing himself.
What?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Because yes, Josh Abrams is turning himself in to court Tuesday. He's going to have to start his sentence, and I have vowed to capture him walking into the courthouse. Well, I really I'm going to request the time off of work for it in the morning. I really am going to do this. Because fuck Josh Abrams, really. He's been saying this whole time too, they're lying. I'm not going to jail. How are you? No, technically you're going to prison, not jail. We'll concede on that one.
Wait. People in chat are saying that last night in Boston he pissed himself on a live.
What?
At Boston,
I haven't
Boston
heard
PD.
that. Oh wow.
How did I miss that?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Are you sure? Somebody send me the link after this, because I want to watch that if he pissed himself.
He peed on No Name's latest video at the 35:55 mark last night.
Is that on No Name's channel or on Abrams' channel? Because I heard that Abrams has named his heir and it's No Name now.
What was that timestamp again?
It was 35:55.
35:55.
I'm looking right now.
I'm looking at it. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm sorry. I can see what you're looking at. So I'm like, where is it? He really pissed himself. And it's definitely on No Name's channel and not.
Everyone's saying No Name's channel.
Okay, it's on No Name channel. We're on here now. I don't think that's actually. Is that P?
What's the timestamp?
35:55.
Can we? Yeah, let's watch this together and see if. Well, if it's the wrong one, then we'll know it's the wrong one. All right, yeah. See that right there? Is that P? I don't think that's P. I think this is just a shadow.
Yeah, it looks like a shadow.
I mean, that's a shadow that looks suspiciously like he peed himself.
It kind of does.
I think we're going to get a split decision here. Keep playing it. I don't know.
I mean, what kind of shadow is cast directly on your balls? Just saying.
Your ball shadow?
Jimmy said go. So at 32 minute he's dry, and at 35:55 he's pissed himself.
Okay, all right. Let's compare. Thank you, Jimmy. Why would he be pissed?
I don't know. Maybe while he's in jail, he can do some push-ups and do something.
He's really pushing. I noticed he had a cane the other night when he and Greasy Ginger Joe Orga and No Name all linked up, and they went out on the most boring cop watch ever. Which thank you guys for that. Actually, you were relatively respectful, but he had a cane and shit, and I'm like, is he trying to do some blind justice level ADA bullshit now? Which you don't need a cane, but I guess he doesn't need a cane today. So.
No, he doesn't.
Just put it at 32 and let it play through.
Okay.
Yeah, he just needs
Start
diapers.
where?
32.
They said 32 minutes, right?
Yep, 32. Or start right at 31, whatever. That's fine too.
Right there.
Yeah.
Just start right there. We'll watch it. Go
Okay.
through.
All right.
It looks dry there.
Okay, it looks dry.
Yeah.
But there's also, you can see a shadow.
Oh yeah, you know what? It is a shadow. You know, because just as he was going off camera there, you could see a little bit of a dark spot when he moved. So yeah, it is just a dark spot. He didn't piss himself. He's gonna save that for when he goes to jail.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was gonna say he'd really be pushing that, like, I'm disabled if he's like pissing himself in public now.
See,
yeah, it's a shadow.
It's a shadow.
Yeah.
Play it through. See, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
And then it's there again. So it's a shadow.
That's what happens when you wear nothing but those, you know, Adidas freaking workout shorts, like basketball shorts. Like, do you think this guy has ever worn like a normal outfit in his life?
Oh, why does he wear workout clothes when he clearly doesn't work out though?
We're not recording it. He's got to look good with the
fucking.
That's like someone wears a muscle shirt with
Why is that guy even wearing a mask?
He's not wearing it properly. He wasn't wearing
Right, like, what's the point?
It was on mute. I just took it off when he was tearing his timer to read. And he had nothing personal. I just took it on mute for people with the timer shit.
Ruthless Wonder says, "Stop ruining this fresh fat." Like, she wanted to believe.
You want to fucking quit your job? Maybe you're half the fucking problem.
She wanted us to believe. Look at that. It does. I mean, it looks like pee. It's just not.
Problems.
Like, really, like, doesn't Josh look like a lesbian gym teacher though?
That's the best description that I've ever heard.
Look at it again. Look at it again. Like, the stance that he takes looks like you're about to get bitched out because you friggin' cut corners doing laps. Look at
all he needs is a rape whistle around his neck.
I'm saying though, that literally looks like somebody's lesbian gym teacher.
He can even keep the same voice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hey Timmy, stop cutting the corners on those laps.
And it's fair, like Josh can come, laugh at me too, because I also dress like somebody's lesbian. Not really.
Yeah, read the sign, dude. You already read it.
I said bend over and cough, bitch.
Right. Nope. So that's the end of that.
Oh my God. I wonder how many COs in jail he's going to try to arrest.
Citizens arrest.
I think that he's probably going to get into a couple altercations and then honestly do just fine in jail because that is like his ideal environment. Like that is really what he thrives in, I believe.
Well, I mean, it's not like he has to hustle for money when he's in jail.
Right,
He gets 3 squares. He's good. He's probably going to eat better in jail than he did when he's in free.
He's probably going to start a prison gang or something, honestly, at this point.
The big titty gang, right?
I could see him starting some sort of soft-sit prison gang in there or something.
Gosh.
You've heard of the Crips and the Bloods. He's going to be the Twinkies.
He's probably going to come out and be like one of those like Indian guru people and stuff. Like he's just going to start a straight-out cult when he gets out of jail. He's going to be like, you know what? I could see. Couldn't you see Abrams doing that though? Being like, I just spent a whole 18 months in jail and my life was transformed and I've given myself to Jesus.
I would say, what if he finds Jesus?
But like in a cult way. So he would come out and then tell everybody like, I will show you how to find Jesus like I did, just like I showed you how to fight the law. And yeah, the law won in that case, but now I'm a cult. I could see that happening.
I think he's going to audit the commissary.
I think he's probably going to spend most of his time. Like, listen, the last time that he was in jail that I could really remember is the Billy Tibbetts. Like, I know he's been in jail since then, but he was really vocal around the time of Billy Tibbetts. And let me tell you, he announced in one of his shitty jail phone, like, conference calls, he told the whole world he's in there with a famous hockey star. He's a real freedom fighter, too. They're going to collaborate when he gets out. And then, like, 3 days later, Tibbetts kicked his ass. So I think
I saw that. That was great.
Yeah, I think that really shows us that Josh spends most of his time in jail networking is what he does there.
Hey, apparently, Josh is messaging Pat, and he's going to drop a truth bomb on his panel at 9 p.m. and he unblocked you and wants you on panel.
Yeah, he's inviting you out to his panel at 9 p.m.
Listen, The only reason that I would ever go to his panel is for a legitimate debate. That is all that I have requested from Josh. I understand what Josh is doing right now. Josh is trying to stir up the little bit of drama that he possibly can before he goes to jail. I don't give a shit. Josh has now teamed up with another narcissistic douche whistle, and they think they're going to do something together. I don't give a fuck, Josh. Go ahead.
He's trying to keep his channel from dying while he's
Oh,
gone.
you know what? I have said this on other panels too, and genuinely meant it within the last month. If Jesus was saying him, I am sick of just this back and forth petty bullshit all the time. I would rather attack these people based on.
You're welcome, Alfred.
Yeah. Thanks, Alfred. Yeah, based on really, attacking their knowledge of what they purport to represent, right? Like that's really, and Josh is completely adverse to that. So, he could do whatever. Why are we promoting that? Just curious. I guess if you guys want to go over at 9:00, then Josh, I tried to get on Josh's stream and he freaking blocked me. So fuck that.
So where is this at? Because I might watch just out of morbid curiosity.
It's gonna be on account.
It's gonna be on his channel.
On Josh's channel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we say
the soon to be dead channel?
Yeah.
Right. Josh, right now, what I would like to see you put out more than anything else is your sort of last will and testament. Please tell us exactly what the line of succession for accountability for all looks like. That's what I'm really interested in.
At this point, it's going to be a provable fact that he's going to jail. Just fucking own it.
Right.
Listen, you did it. You're pleading to it because it's the best idea. Because
he's allowed Turtle Boy to announce it for him now. So
whatever. My point is,
but he's at least acknowledged that is what I'm saying. Yeah, he has decided that. Oddly enough, the same guy that he read off supposed documentation proving is a pedophile, as I recall. Do you guys remember that? I do. He wrote off he made up all these court documents that he claims they exist. He was reading off, these are private messages that I received from somebody. And look, I'm showing you private messages. This guy is a sex offender, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. When he was showing court documents.
Now they have run to each other for some sort of assistance, right? Because they are so threatened by Masshole Report's existence, right? So now the real question here is, does Josh admit that he lied about Turtle Boy being a pedophile, or does Josh stand by that assertion, and is he just okay with the fact that the guy's a pedophile now? Because you have to pick one. Either you lied about it, it's not true, or it is true, but you accept it. I'm just...
Yeah, you really can't have that both ways.
Right, yeah. Yeah. No, Josh's petty games, you're going to jail no matter what. It's in consequence to me. You could go out tomorrow and, release as much revenge porn as you could find of me on the internet. I wouldn't be happy about it, but you'll still be in jail on Tuesday, and I'm not going to be. Nothing's going to change that.
It's kind of a trump card.
Yeah. Anything else? Look at Josh is such a bummer. He literally he's like, what are they doing in there? I'm gonna promote and what's so funny?
I just cost you a subscriber. Sorry.
Oh, damn it.
Tell you what, I hope we hear some more about Glenn and his shenanigans, though.
I want to know what the Walmart incident was. That sounds like the start to a fantastic story. All right, we'll end with this chick and then we'll go because it is getting late.
Who's she calling now?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'm checking on an inmate, Michael Nelson.
Do you have the case manager's name?
His what?
Case manager's name.
Oh, let's see. KC, do you still have the case number on Michael?
She didn't say case number. She said case
manager. Right.
Right.
Yes.
And his name's not Casey, it's Jethro.
Good afternoon.
Write it down real quick. Yes, I'm trying to check on the inmate Michael Nelson.
I forgot I had
doing a welfare check on him.
Okay, he's fine.
He has his eyeglasses and everything.
He has everything that he came in with that he can see, yes.
What do you mean everything he came in with to keep? The question is, does he have these glasses?
Oh, this is the one where she loses it.
Well, ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, I understand what you're saying, ma'am, I understand what you're saying, but this man is blind, and if he's not able to keep his glasses and a hat to keep the light out of his eyes, he gets these terrible.
He can keep his glasses because he can, those are authorized. But other stuff that's not authorized, he's not able to keep.
Are y'all keeping the lights down low?
I don't know what he came in with, but that's what I was saying. Everything that he can keep that's authorized.
No, it's not a romantic dinner.
Well, the reason,
Authorized will be shipped out, put in storage.
Playing some Marvin Gaye, you know.
oh no,
Yeah.
no, ma'am, you cannot
Just
destroy that.
candlelight.
That's against the law. This is a What is your name, ma'am? What is your name? What is your name?
Listening. I'm not telling you my name. I'm telling you what.
Aren't you a public servant?
His options are to keep it and put it in storage, to destroy it.
Ma'am, you cannot take eyeglasses.
Not yours, ma'am.
I'm not. You're not allowed to take his eyeglasses from him. The other can. Bitch, shut the fuck up and listen.
Oh my God.
Fucking bitch, shut up and listen. She won't tell me if he has his glasses. She said
he's got everything he came with.
no. Yeah,
Can't
you got
imagine why she
anything he
hung
came
up.
in with. In prison, you could come in with a lot of things. But just like you come from county jail with a canteen with cookies and shit, but you can't take it into prison. You have to throw it away. There's certain things the prison won't let you have, stuff like this. So just because she said he's got everything he come in with, and I asked her, does he have his glasses and hat? She will not answer that question. Oh, she would say he has everything that he has when he came in here. And then she said he has a choice to ship it, store it, or they will destroy it.
Yep.
Get on.
That was
Oh,
not
they heard me?
Eric Grant's little.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really fucking pissed off with the system.
We can tell.
Yeah,
can
nobody
tell.
cares.
Yeah.
Y'all, I gotta go.
What did she doesn't go?
Sassy Swamp Fox News. I'm really fucking upset. Sorry for my French.
That was some French.
Like, look, she can't even. She's like, I gotta go, guys. I can't even. Look at she's
she
gonna
crying?
cry over this.
This is a veteran, y'all.
Allegedly.
Oh God, she's like personally affected by this.
What has happened to the people in this country?
Oh my God.
I don't see any tears.
I gotta go.
She's gotta go. Do you guys want to live in a country where a man who may or may not be blind cannot go into a courthouse with his iPhone, his camcorder, his Polaroid, his GoPro strapped to his chest, 2 Bluetooth headsets, external boom mics, lighting,
Spare batteries.
spare batteries, right? To defend himself against a kidnapping when he was just trying to play Pokemon Go. Do you want to live in a country like that? I don't know if I do.
To paraphrase, shit, what was that movie? The Big Lebowski. These atrocities cannot stand.
No.
Man.
Could we really call ourselves a civilized society if you can't bring a full studio setup to your court hearing?
What do you mean I can't take my jet ski to the public pool?
Right.
It's public.
You need that to swim.
I paid for that public pool. I can't bring my jet ski?
It's a reasonable accommodation, right?
It is.
Yeah, I can't swim.
To the pool without the jet ski. I demand to be able to drive my car through the walking trails of the park.
They're public.
They are. I paid for that. I'm too fat to be able to walk those trails. How am I going to enjoy them like an able-bodied person?
I just don't know what this world's coming to.
It's painful. I'm with Swamp. What's her real name? I keep calling her Swamp Rat. Is that actually what she calls herself?
Swamp Fox.
SC
Swamp
Swamp
Fox.
Fox or Mrs. Fizzy?
Swamp Fox. Mrs. Fizzy. Fizzy's got a crush on that.
Yep.
Thanks, Murpha. Murpha's going to be extra happy about Josh going to jail. Like, Josh really fucked with that guy for no reason for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, I did a little thing about when he followed around the guy that he thought may or may not be an undercover cop.
Yeah.
I just followed and hounded the dude. I'm like, okay, let's just say maybe he is an undercover cop. You maybe just got this dude killed. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Josh doesn't give a shit. Listen, I would love to see, like, I think that it would be awesome if there was like a redemption arc here, right? Because like, who doesn't like that? That's why everybody likes those like scared straight and stuff like that. Like, I fucked up and then here's my redemption arc. What I really suspect will happen though is that in 18 months to 2 years from now, when Josh Abrams reasonably gets out of prison, he will have started a cult. It'll be a cult.
Oh, we should all join.
I would not join his cult. I would not.
No,
do that.
we should all just infiltrate it. Like,
are you kidding me? Josh would never have, like, listen, he and I have had like a back and forth thing going like for a while now, right? Like, we communicate. I've always said we're friendly, but there's no like you can't believe anything he says. You know what I mean? Like, no, I refuse to even try. Like, he wouldn't believe that we would believe it. He'd be like, no way, they're not really joining my cult. I would like to like help people escape from his cult. We could do that together, Schrodinger, if you want.
I've got a 4x4. We could get away.
We could smuggle them out, like, Mexicans
Right.
in a safe house. Yeah, just in the middle of the night, rescue missions. But yeah, no, I think that Josh is going to start a cult, honestly, because this YouTube thing is dead. So
All right, write it down. What the hell's today? December. Fucking
October
11th, 2020. Kate says Josh is going to start a cult.
Yep, I do. That's my prediction. Call me Miss Cleo because it's coming in clear.
Call me Miss Cleo.
Anything else? Any last thoughts?
No, I'm glad as hell that y'all had me here. I've been looking forward to this for days, ever since I found out I was going to be on.
Me too.
Sorry if I talk too damn much, but
No, you talk
sort of what I do.
I'm thrilled. I was really happy to have you on. Come back anytime. Schrodinger's cat. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked him out, I'm sure most people here have, but you should. You should definitely check him out. He's great. Also, want to talk about some of our other acquisitions. Fixer is now running a stream. You can find Lord High Fixer. We go in there and we talk about nerd stuff. And then we also did acquire Polly Crispy's channel. Right now, we're just getting up there. It's like kind of the Thunderdome. There's fights that break out on there. It's pretty chaotic, but we want to see him do better than Not News New England. So subscribe to Polly if you are so inclined. Please. Anything else?
No, I'm just, Schrodinger's cat, Kate told me last night, she said, you want to come on panel? Schrodinger's cat's going to be on. And I was like, hell yes, because I wanted to get to meet you and everything. So that was awesome. And it was good to hear what you had to say because you had a lot of good input as well, too.
Yeah, I typically say humorous things from time to time, usually by accident.
If y'all are not subscribed to Schrodinger's cat, please go do it.
And as always, we are wrapping it up now, but we will be in Discord where we go while we drive home from the studio. I'll be in there. Pat will probably be in there. We'll all be in there. So if you haven't joined our Discord already, please do so. You can find the link in the description of any video, and that's where we're going to be. All right. Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
All right.
Night.
Kill it.